Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Appreciate you taking a few moments. If you will, if you'd like to, you can follow along in Genesis chapter number 17. We will begin in verse number 9. If you will, like, share, comment on the post. And then we read these, what for most of us may be a little bit of a peculiar passage. God said to Abraham, "As for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your offspring after you throughout their generations. This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your offspring after you. Every male among you shall be circumcised. You shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskins, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised. Every male throughout your generations, whether born in your house or bought with your money, from any foreigner who is not of your offspring. Both he who is born in your house and he who is bought with your money shall surely be circumcised. So shall my covenant be in your flesh, an everlasting covenant. Any uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant." So, again, what seems certainly to us maybe a little bit of a peculiar passage, and we have to understand here the symbolism going on in this whole action. The covenant is that Abraham and his descendants will trust God. They will be obedient. They will follow his commandments. They will believe his promises, and they will continue to believe. That is the covenant. Notice what it says here in this passage. He says that this will be a sign of our covenant. This is a representative. Just as a wedding band is not a marriage, it is a sign of marriage. It is a symbol of that marriage. And an equivalent in our culture today would be baptism. We make a public profession of faith that we are going to follow God. We're going to live according to his word. We have accepted him as our Savior, and that was this action was to be a public statement of commitment. Now, notice several things about this commitment. It is a serious commitment. This is not something you go into lightly. This is a serious commitment that you are making. It is an undoable commitment. This sign is you can't go back. You can't undo it. And then one of the things that really strikes me about it is how God tells Abraham, now, not only you, but everybody in your house, wherever they came from, they're going to make this commitment. Everybody in your house, your children, your children's children, they too should make this commitment. And that's where I think our focus really, first of all, needs to be on the commitment itself, that that God is calling on his people to make a commitment. Still does, always has. He's always called on his people to commit to him, to follow him, to believe him, to trust him. You know the phrases that we use to describe that relationship with God. But then, not only is it a personal commitment, but then that it is to be expanded. This was a commitment that Abraham was to teach his descendants about. This was a commandment that you had to teach those around you about. That it was to be, again, spread among everyone in Abraham's sphere of influence. We're to hear about this commitment that they were being called to make. Again, you walk up to a man and say, you need to be circumcised. He's going to say, why? And so Abraham was to tell them about this commitment, the promises of God, the covenant with God, and lead them then to follow God, to follow Him. And again, then it was to be spread on to his descendants. And so as we think about that for us today, again, it is baptism is the symbol we would liken that to in our day, that it is a statement. It is a visible public statement that I am going to follow God. But also, again, we know that it's not easy. And so what God has called on Abraham to do is the same thing that he has called on those who would follow him throughout time, still to this day, and that is that they would make a commitment to follow him in all ways, on all days, that we are committed to serve him. And again, many people today, they'll commit to serve God for an hour or so on Sunday, or a couple hours here, or maybe 1 week a year to work in Bible school or something along those lines. But then the rest of the time they go off on their own way. And what we're learning in this passage is that a commitment to God is a 24/7 lifetime decision. So we all need to look in the mirror this morning and ask ourselves that question. Who are we committed to? How much are we committed? And is it a 24/7 decision? Think about it. You have a good day. We'll see you here tomorrow morning.